going to keep doing this, we need to really get on top of the producers because they are really not doing as good a job as
Sorry, Harvey. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Lack of Focus podcast with me, Matt Bentley, and with me today, as usual, is Harvey Quinn. Harvey.
Good morning.
So, we sort of promised that we would do like a sort of year review of like 2023, but I don't want to do that.
No.
So, if you're desperate to do a little bit of
we'll do a bit of it.
So if you've got some real key things to talk about, then we can. But I don't care about that at the moment. So we're just going to do, because this is the lack of. Always be aware of the word should. Never fall into the trap of thinking that anything should be a certain way, because it will limit you.
Yeah. Also, on that, never be afraid to say no.
Okay.
Just no. You don't even have to offer any explanation.
Do you know how hard I struggle so hard when people just go, "Excuse me," and I think to myself, "No, just say no." And I'm just because I'm quite to look at me on the tube, right? I look very cross. I'm a cross-looking kind of chap, right? And I'm always told if I get quite animated, I sound very aggressive very easily, right?
Ooh.
So because I've got quite my voice is quite.
You speak quite quickly as well.
I get very animated, right?
Yeah, sure.
So if I just say no,
so
ask me to do something. Ask me.
Could you just pass me that?
No.
Oh
yeah, that's stuff, isn't it?
That's pretty hard.
So
that is pretty hard.
Whereas you sort of do you do this. No.
Yeah. Do you know
funnier.
what's funny?
Go on.
Is from when I'm still and stoic, I assume I don't look. I look a bit of a nutter. But I always get approached in the street by fucking people wanting me to sign up to charities. I've signed up to like 18 charities this year because I like just get.
Do you know what
hassled.
it is? Although I know that
I haven't signed up to 18.
No, why would you? Yeah. Underneath that, your clothes you're wearing, I know that you're ripped to shit. I know this, right? And I know you're very strong. And I'm not even trying to wind. It's not a joke. I see the guy lifting weighted on rock climbing. You're a strong dude, but you look.
Well, Henry Cavill and I had that. We won't get into
that's
it.
a fact, and that did happen.
That's a fact.
You look not I'm a spindly bloke. You look spindly.
I do, yeah.
And it's quite good, but like that's why they're coming up. Whereas
speaking of clothes,
6'3", you're not going to come near me, are you?
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near.
I'm not getting anywhere near.
Bounding around, looking furious.
Speaking of clothes, I want to do a bit of housekeeping, and I will tie this back into clothes. We're doing what? This is episode 18. Lack of focus.
Yeah, I don't care.
We were going to exactly. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Our numbers are on the up.
Oh yeah,
they're on the up. However, just remind me again, Matt. How many followers do you have across social media?
I have 105,000 followers.
Exactly, millions, and that hasn't been reflected in the amount of people liking and subscribing.
Oh, that's true.
Do you know what I'm saying? I know you're not. I know you're watching this now. And you've
or listening,
which
I've started to.
You come around on it.
I'm coming around to it. I'm
just saying, you're watching, you're listening, whatever. If you're listening, it doesn't take 2 seconds. Just 5 stars, because we're 5-star men.
We're 5-star men.
We're 5-star men.
It's a 5-star podcast.
It's a 5-star, obviously.
People are comparing us. This is actually what I've had from a few people on the internet. People who don't even know me.
Yeah.
And I was going to say they're coming up to me. They're just saying to me,
5 stars.
It reminds me a lot of XFM back in the day.
That's 5-star podcast.
And I'm like, well, yeah, correct.
That's what it is. It's a show as well, and that was a show, and this is a show.
This is essentially live radio. Just no one. It's just we're not actually live. Pre-recorded live radio.
Yeah. So again. 5 stars. It doesn't take 5 seconds. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. You're watching it now. How hard is it? And by not doing that,
money out of your pocket.
It's money out of my pocket, and times are tough this Christmas period.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a belt. But if I were, I would have done up my belt notch a bit because I'm losing weight, and that is very much on you guys. That is very much.
I am trying to get my cheekbones to pop at the moment though, because I've got headshots in the new year.
Do you know what will help with that?
Go on.
Poverty. Yeah. Yeah. So if you want him to get good headshots, don't like and subscribe then. Do you know what I mean? Why don't you just do what you want to do? Because you obviously know best. We haven't got a pot to piss in.
No.
I haven't got a pot to piss in. Look at this old clobber.
Yeah.
I want new clobber.
That is recycled.
I want new clobber. I want to be steezy, guy.
Yeah.
You know? I want that Riz. I want that Riz out of control.
Okay.
And you're preventing me from having that.
Okay.
And I will not abide by that.
Almost done?
I'd say I'm done now.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. That was good.
It's good. Well, just a little aside. I brought it back to close. Did you see?
Definitely. Yeah. So that's the intro segment done. And I think
it was good.
That's brilliant.
We've nailed that.
As per. It's been, again, some people come up shoving their advice on me. Fuck off.
I know.
Do you know
So
what I mean?
many people.
You mustn't give me advice. You know,
know.
stop doing it. Fuck off.
Shut up.
But they will insist, and they go, you haven't seen the podcast in a couple of weeks. I'm like, it's not in a couple of weeks. We did one on Monday last week, and we're doing it today on Friday this week. So
week and a half.
No, it's
This week.
1 week. The next week.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
Why would you put numbers on it? The only numbers I'm interested
numbers
in
aren't friends to
are the ones going into my pocket.
which is you're back to it.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate.
Do reiterate. We've got time.
We have got time. Yeah, people came up to me. One of my mates completely got it wrong. He was like, "Do you know what you should do on the podcast?" I was like,
No.
And I went.
At that point, you just
I zoned out. But he just his mouth kept moving and noises came out.
Go on.
And he went on for about 15 minutes.
What was he saying?
I don't know.
Well, what does he do for a job? Firstly,
He's an accountant.
well,
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
imagine if you were to take that advice from an accountant.
Well, yeah, I know.
In terms of trying to boost our numbers,
You go on.
I was meant to talk about this for the last 3 weeks, and I keep forgetting.
Okay.
How did Red Bull become successful? They banned under 16-year-olds from being allowed to buy it. So, and then all 16-year-olds wanted to go out and buy it, right? So we're like, not that I give a shit about whether Gen Zs listen to this. It's not for you.
It's not for
right?
you.
But if I'd like to go on record now and say that if you are under 16 years old, you are not allowed to listen or watch this podcast or this show.
That should go without saying, but I like that you've added it.
Yeah.
Because
Just to back
let's
that.
hammer that home, actually. If you're under 16, it's a shame, isn't it?
It's not for you.
It's not for you. It's not for you. And it is a shame to be under 16 right now because I couldn't think of anything worse.
Being under 16 now would be a fucking nightmare. Yeah.
What having to get through, number one, to get through 16 to 20, nightmare.
Nightmare.
Then from 20 to 30.
Well, no, actually, 16 to 20 for me was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I had a good time at 16 to 20.
I can't remember. I don't think I did. I think I had a pretty shitty. I was a kind of an awkward teenager though, like really awkward up until probably college, 16. So I was a goth from 12 to 16.
Yeah.
Really like not popular at all. Like really like
You surprised
alternative. I know. And then from 16 to 19, I was like an emo kid skater.
That's quite cool, but
It wasn't
then,
though.
but not then.
It was too early.
Yeah, definitely.
And I had that little scene. There was a little scene that we used to come into London, hang out around Soho Square.
Yeah, you're the only
back in the
people
day.
to ever do that as well.
I know, yeah.
That is unique.
Unique. And then from 19 onwards, it was sort of a bit better because I started to, get into working out.
Yeah, that will help.
And like
some
not
nutrition
being,
and stuff.
Yeah, not being like a really pale, gaunt.
So I did the opposite of that. I struggled from like 12 to 15. I was in the sports team, so I was friends. I was popular-ish, right?
Yeah.
And people liked me because I was funny.
Sure.
16 to 19, I moved schools I went to the school with all the fit girls. That's swear to God, the only reason I moved there. I tell people it was
How did you get your parents on board with this decision?
well, because my sister had gone to the school before me and been very successful. And love my sister, but she's near the brightest bulb in the chandelier and she did very well there, right?
Right.
So
you went into your parents, look.
No. And then I'd heard rumours of all the fit girls went to this school, right?
That didn't come up when you mentioned it to your parents. though, of course.
But I was like, my school was very academic and didn't do drama for A-level.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to move to that school and do drama for A-level. That's the reason I'm going, not all the Leng birds.
Of course not.
And that was the best fucking 2 years ever.
Do you think
Seriously, it was fucking incredible.
your acting career, do you think you're an actor because of Leng birds?
Listen.
It's a big part, isn't it?
Listen.
It is a big part.
It was more just being a show off. I was just an utter show off.
Yeah.
And then I also realised that I was watching an interview with, this is a bit off topic, I was watching an interview with James Blunt.
Yeah.
James Blunt was in a tiny part in Greed, so I've spoken to him a few times, and
fine.
I really like James
I
Blunt.
like him as well.
I like his music, I've always liked his music, right? And he was doing an interview where he's like, I'm emotionally stunted, I don't feel anything, apart from when I'm doing my music. And I was like, what a relief would that be? What a lovely thing, just to not fucking feel anything.
Don't know if
because
that would
all I do, Harvey, is feel. I am the most emotional person in the fuck. I genuinely,
You are, yeah.
I don't think
you're more
anyone
emotional
does more. Like, not like I think I empathise with people
You do, yeah.
it's so quickly. But it's why I'm good with people. I like to think anyway. But I am so heavy. I'm so emotional.
You feel everything. Yeah.
I feel
well, it's kind of what makes
everything.
you a fucking good actor. And when I say that, I don't mean, oh, you just feel every scene you're in, you feel things. No, I mean that you understand what feelings are.
You can trigger. I can tap into them.
Yeah.
No, when you're actually doing acting, just get the lines right and hit the marks.
That's it.
And say the words like you mean them. You don't have to feel anything.
No,
that's really important to remember.
It's very, very key.
Don't. If you listen. If you need to feel everything, and they go, can we do that again on the wide? And you go, I had one of the tank.
Yeah.
Well, you need 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to film for 6 months.
Yeah.
And your character's he's a bit of a downer all the time.
Yeah. You're going to take your life.
Hang about.
Yeah. Hang about.
How can I do that? They go, well, you just sort of pretend, don't you?
How about acting?
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go.
You must give it a go.
You must give it a go.
So yeah, that's acting because of birds and because I was a show off and because I found myself to be incredibly emotional at a very young age. And that's kind of where I am now.
Cool.
We both saw the movie.
We did, yeah.
Saltburn last night.
Saltburn, yeah.
Who wants to talk first? We haven't spoken about it.
We haven't spoken about it at all. All we've said is that we both enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
I'll go. I think I really enjoyed the movie. I have issues with it.
Oh God, okay.
Have issues with it. But I think, but I have issues with it because it was really close to being like, for me, fantastic. And I think it was so fantastic in like the performances from everyone was phenomenal. I think you would have nailed Felix. I think I probably would have nailed Oliver, probably.
I think you're probably not saying I'm good looking enough to be Felix, but you're too good looking to be
Barry.
Oliver.
But Barry's quite handsome in a weird sort of way.
If casting went your way, you'd play the cousin very well.
Ooh,
you know, the mixed race guy.
Yeah,
He's fucking good and very unlikely.
So he is a bit of a name drop. So I don't know him at all. My friend Poppy, who's
don't drop it.
Well, my friend Poppy is it's funny in regards to what was going on. So she's really good friends with him. She went to Arts Ed with him.
Okay.
Archie. He's meant to be a really lovely dude. I think
Arts
he was
Ed in Hampstead.
I don't know.
Park.
I don't know.
Worst place in the world.
I've heard that, but I think he was one of the strongest actors in that movie.
Of course.
But he was the lead in the Gran Turismo movie. Did you know about it?
Fuck off, really?
No. So the Gran Turismo
the guy who becomes a racing car driver because he's good at the game.
Yeah. So they made a movie. Neil Blomkamp directed.
I know.
He was the lead in it.
Yeah.
But it went nowhere because the strikes happened. He couldn't promote it. So he's like, my career's over.
That's a shame.
Luckily, he got Saltburn. If he hadn't got Saltburn, I think it would have been a struggle for him.
Also,
to
luckily, because he looks so. I saw a lot of trailers for the Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Short hair, racing car driver. He looks petite, and he's got the big hair, and he's a cunt in Saltburn.
In Saltburn, he's brilliant. In
He's
Saltburn.
brilliant.
So yeah, so my review, Harvey Quinn's review of Saltburn, I thought it was an 8 out of 10 movie.
Wow.
I loved it up until. Are we going to talk spoilers?
I just want to caveat here.
Yeah.
Harvey, when he rates birds, women, girls, he never gives it. The 10 doesn't exist. So 9.
10 doesn't exist.
So 10. So just to put that.
I would say 9 is the maximum for me.
Yeah. So 10 is never. It blew my mind. It's very entertaining when we went through it.
Fine.
But it's a little bit too. Not for now.
Yeah. So I loved like the direction. I loved the way that it was shot. I loved that it was in a 4:3 format. I thought that was awesome because it's perfect for close-ups and faces and perfect for like architecture. And there's a lot of like stately homes in that. That was brilliant. I thought the soundtrack was amazing. I thought 2006, that era is sort of our era. Do you know what I mean? In terms of those characters meant to be sort of 18, 19. That was when I was that sort of age. So like
I was younger, but so I was more like 14, 13. But I really remember it so well.
So I loved that aspect of it. I thought it was acted beautifully well. I just have the issue I have is the ending sort of it was not neat enough and it was a bit too convenient and I didn't believe it as much as the rest of the movie. But I loved it. I thought it was a really good movie.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. What are your thoughts?
So there are little spoilers. No, I don't need to spoil anything, so I'm not going to do spoilers.
Fine.
The introduction of Oliver, your main character, is introduced from the back of his head.
Yeah.
So immediately you're just like, I'm on this guy's side.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
Clever.
But they never make you like him. You're supposed to like Felix.
Yeah.
And you do like Felix.
Yeah.
But you only ever see Felix from front on the camera. You never get behind Felix's head, so you're never really with him.
Yeah.
And from then, I'm just like, vieweristically being like, oh, I like this guy.
know
The
what you
movie kept me. I got like 3/4 of the way through it, and I went, I know what this movie's about. Okay, cool.
kept me guessing,
and
yeah.
it's been fine. It's been fine. I've enjoyed it. That last half an hour,
Yeah.
I was torn between being, guys, can we just wrap it up? I think we're done here. The
Sure.
movie is finished now. Let's just finish the movie. And then it went again, and then it went again, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit. So for me, it's talented Mr. Ripley. Meets,
Yeah, that's the thing. I think. Go on.
Meets The Social Network. Meets, because of the pacing of the film, meets just a very sort of throwaway, sort of just like teeny bop fuck about.
I agree. This
With
is
a
the
bit of
thing.
thriller in there.
This is the thing for me. It's Social Networks meets Talented Mr. Ripley, but it's not as good as either of those.
No, it's not as good as either.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
So
it's not. But let's put it into context of like today's what's out there today
yeah,
in cinema and film.
I don't think that should be the benchmark that we set.
For me, it needs to be at the moment. The thing is, I can compare. Let's do it with footballers. Like you've got footballers are, in my opinion, just genuinely worse at the game, but better individually at skills, right?
In terms of athleticism.
In terms of
Yeah,
athleticism.
fine.
So, but they don't know the game as well as they did. But comparing like Hazard to Saka,
Yeah.
there are very different times. So you just go, yeah, Saka's fucking incredible.
And this is Emerald's second movie, to be fair to
Yeah, it was cast by Carmel Coltrane as
Yeah,
well.
I know, yeah.
Who sees me for everything,
She sees me for everything as well.
but she won't give me a job, and that's
I got
fine.
penciled for one.
Cheeky. Well, we've all been penciled.
Released.
We've all been penciled.
Carmel, if you're watching, Carmel.
Well, be careful. Fucking tread carefully here.
No, Carmel. I love her work,
Yeah.
but give us a little. Because I got pot to piss in. I got
did
pot
watch,
to piss in down here.
I did watch the movie. When I saw Carmel had cast it, I was thinking,
Who would I be in there?
where would she shoehorn me into this if she needed to? If she owed me a favor? And I was thinking, nowhere. So I thought, okay, I can enjoy this movie because at no point could I, unless I'm Felix, I definitely, for the record, could absolutely play.
Now that, yeah.
Because although I put on the sort of geezer, I do, but that sometimes, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm incredibly posh.
Yeah.
And that's really
and you
important.
Would up it as well.
I would go way higher.
Ooh, way higher.
Way higher.
Yeah.
He's Australian.
I know.
Come on.
Richard E. Grant and
He's a killer, isn't he?
he's a killer. And Rosamund Pike was like making me laugh. Every
so
time. She's manic.
Rosamund Pike didn't surprise me because she's in the upper echelons of consistent movie star talent. Like in the same way that I don't know much about her, she's quite hard to get a touch on.
Yeah, she plays cracked.
Yeah,
perfectly.
Yeah,
like just a little. There's something off with her, and
yeah.
like obviously she did that amazingly in Gone Girl.
Yeah,
but this was a bit more like it's funnier.
Well, this time around, she was trying to be nice.
Yeah,
she's trying to be a lovely mother.
Yeah,
but she's not a monster.
Well,
she's
little bit.
She's just a heightened version of the. And the thing is,
Carey Mulligan, I thought was
phenomenal. I think she's.
I love her a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm in love with Carey Mulligan. Yeah. But that's because they didn't need to make Drive that good.
True.
You didn't need to make her that like I've got to look after this person.
Have you seen Shame?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's why I think.
No,
Shame,
I'm not. I'm an uncultured swine, and I haven't seen Shame.
No, I think Shame might be probably one of my favourite dramas ever.
Yeah, very. Yeah, I mean, you got Fassbender.
Just so good. Yeah, well, Fassbender, I like. He just doesn't
miss.
It doesn't. I think if there's anyone's career I'd want to emulate, it's his. Obviously, because he's like very successful. But just the choices that he makes and the projects that he works in. Even when he's working in like X-Men, he's sort of nailing it. Do you know what I mean?
I had so when I watched Saltburn midweek on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You watched it last night.
Yeah, so you've had a bit more time to.
So when I left the cinema, I thought to myself, stop pissing around now. No more podcast, no more TikTok, no more Instagram. Fucking get back to acting.
Yeah,
get on it. This is the path. You got to get back to this.
That
you are capable of doing
great.
this, and that's what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
And then after 24 hours of thinking about it, I was just like, well, look, I've got this film coming out in the new year.
Yeah,
which I think I'm quite good in. Apart from that, I've got I don't know. I just don't want to. This year, basically, I'm trying to just be. I don't know if this will resonate with anybody. Maybe it'll resonate with you.
Go on.
Everyone's like, be your authentic self. I genuinely swear to God, man, don't know what my authentic self is anymore. Well, they say it's what you do when you're alone, right? And when I'm alone, do you know what I do when I'm alone?
What?
Mate, I just listen to fucking like music from 2006, walk around my flat like lip syncing to it. I fucking love it. I absolutely love doing that.
Sick, yeah. Well, I mean, that's not why.
That's just one of the things I do. But like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I feel like even when I'm at the gym, I'm not really being myself because I'm very aware of what people are out. Like, I don't know.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Definitely not being myself in this podcast the entire time.
No, why would you be?
Yeah,
I'm not, do you think this is
I'm
it?
saying,
You
sorry
think
for
this is
calling
me?
it a podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
That's
Jesus Christ.
grim.
Don't break the illusion.
So yeah, I don't know what this year. I'm going to try and be. I watched a couple of my tapes back.
Yeah.
From the year, as I do it every year,
Yeah.
I look back, and I was like, "You're trying to be. You're on my idents. The acting's fine. Subjectively, I can't tell. Maybe it's shit. Maybe it's good. But the idents, I can tell. I'd be like,
You're not.
You're grim, mate. Why can't I be so
really?
charming?
Oh, fine.
Ugh.
You've seen my idents. I do similar things, but I don't.
Well, no. See, the
I
thing
try
is,
and be funny.
no, your actual. Hi, my name's Harvey Quinn. I'm this.
Yeah.
That's very neutral,
It's
right?
neutral.
My old agent used to say to me, when you do neutral, you look like you're gonna kill someone. So I'd go to that and go, "Hello, I'm Matt Bentley. Hi, my name's Matt Bentley, and I'm represented by X. And I am 6'3", and she's like, you look
so pissed off. You don't want to be
angry.
here. Yeah,
You can't do that. So now I make them. I go. I do a smile. Yeah, hi there. And I'm like, what? You're so
Fine.
grim, bruv. You're so gross.
So just split the difference.
But the definition of this, what I'm doing now, is overthinking, which is just like, just fucking stop.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I think that again, just to tie that back to what you said about like you saw Saltburn, you're like, it's one of the great things about watching something good is that it gives me a fire to do what we're doing again. So like I told you about this, I went to see Jerusalem with Mark Rylance, and I left that theatre. Before I went into that theatre, I was like dumbed down on acting. I was like, I'm done, I think. I left that theatre with like, oh, this is what we do. Yeah. Like it's given me way more inspiration to or the love for it again. And Saltburn has that as well. But I think it's difficult in that this year has been like a fucking fairly dreadful year for actors. Yeah. And unless you're successful, unless you're like you're lucky.
I'd actually argue that I was having this conversation with my friend Greg, who's got a fantastic career in the States.
And it's just like taking a year off.
Well, no, he was like, I don't know what to. This was just in terms of like his career trajectory. Yeah. He's very well known. Yeah. His name's Greg Sulkin. You can Google him.
Yeah. Handsome young man.
Very handsome young man.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know what to do with my next steps in my career. What jobs do I take? What And I was like, we ended up just getting to the point of being like, I actually think, mate, me being a quote unquote nobody and you being famous, you're in the harder position because you've got to keep the balloon in the air. Yeah. And your next decision.
Yeah, that's true.
You might look back. At the moment, my decision's not my decision. If I get booked to go and do a Disney movie, I'm taking the job.
Yeah, you have to.
He can sack it off, but that Disney movie can end up being camp rock. I don't know, and like a huge fucking whatever. And he's turned it down because he thought not. It's these. He's in. So I'd rather at the moment be at the bottom of the mountain climbing than a midway up. Like,
but my point being, you could come out of like watching Saltburn and be like, this is it. I'm going to focus on acting now. But if the industry's not there in terms of like auditions and stuff, what are you going to do?
This is the same thing as being like, oh, make sure you get up and you're busy. It's like, busy doing what?
What can I do, man?
Busy doing what?
Our jobs are so dependent on other people. And like, it's great for an element of like, you know, when you step on set, it's a team effort. When you step on a stage, it's a team effort. Yeah. But on the flip side of that coin is, I have to be dependent on other people to work. I can't just be. That's what's so great about this podcast. We can just step here, you and I, and work, and this is work, and it is work. And again, like and subscribe.
I actually woke up this morning feeling very unwell. Not like coldy, but had like I just had like I didn't feel good basically.
Yeah, fine.
But I said to myself, I was like, you gotta go to work. You gotta go do the podcast. Yeah. Because and this is what we're saying. Like if we had the studio in one of our homes, the intensity of it wouldn't be the same. We wouldn't come and do it.
Yeah, it would be easy. I'd be more inclined to be like, no. And also, like, I've been feeling very, very anxious all week.
Have you?
Well, I tell you what.
Rip roaring pissed at a stand.
Yeah, that's it.
You legend.
So yeah, this weekend.
We haven't.
I know. So. Aren't I such a nutter?
You're mad.
So mad.
You're well mad.
Mad. So basically, guilty. What all it is, went away for a stag do this weekend, didn't I? Lagers. Loads of like, was there too many lagers? Yeah. Chats with the lads. Yeah. Very fun. But what happens when I do that is I get very down in the dumps for about a week and a half.
Yeah, and also what Harvey does, which I do the opposite. When I get down in the dumps, I'm going, Excuse me. Hello, I'm down in the dumps. Did you know? Excuse me. I'm really unhappy. Yeah. You I go. You're right, mate. And then it's nothing until you start feeling a bit better, and you go, I was really sad. I'm like, you. So why do you fucking say at the time? Yeah.
Because I like to just
must say at the time.
because I have very much a samurai method where I take myself away, lock myself in a cold, dark room, and just contemplate my thoughts.
I like that.
I don't do that. I did that, but basically, metaphorically speaking, do a bit of that, a bit of like self-reflection. Like, you lay yourself down. Although I didn't. I mean, it was fun. Honestly, like, it was a really, really amazing weekend. We went up to the Lake District. Well, Lancaster. Awesome.
Yeah.
But it was just constant boozing. It wasn't like I'd like got drunk and blacked out and shat myself.
Not again.
Not again. But no, but it was like you just constantly boozing.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And then you come back on that train feeling like hollow.
Just sinful.
Yeah, and sinful, and like you've let yourself down. Even though I hadn't. Like, people get like buzzed all week. And some of those lads were drinking this week, which is
horrendous.
Mental to me.
Horrendous. I mean, even I was just doing. So I'm going sober in January, right?
Okay.
So I'm allowing myself to do whatever I want at the moment.
Same actually.
And even with completely no holds barred, I was still just in a few pubs in West London with some friends on last Friday, just on Friday nights basically.
Yeah.
And I still feel like just fucking wobbly.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't do 4 pints every week. I don't drink that much.
We don't handle alcohol very well.
No. Actually, the thing is, I can drink a lot of alcohol and still be kind of fine. My problem is I can stay appearing very sober.
Yeah.
But I'm getting blurry and blurrier, but no one else around me knows. No one around me knows. And unless you know me very, very well, like you know little bits now. Yeah. But to like randomers or people who don't know that well, they just think Matt's just downing 8 pints and he's fine. And then something happens.
Yeah.
And I don't remember.
Oh, fair. I feel that was a lot of my 20s for me. It was just like getting recklessly drunk. Yeah. And I don't. My 20s is but my 20s is sort of a blur in a way. There's moments of that I remember, but I felt so relieved to enter my 30s.
After James died from 22 to 25, genuinely swear to God, don't remember much. Like I don't remember much. Like I was with a very big agent for a whole year of that, and I don't remember much of it. Which is why I wasn't successful there, because I was drinking so much.
When we first started writing together, when we were in town, and you saw your agent at the time, and you were like, do I say it? You were like, you're like, shall I say anything? You went over to her, and it was just like a really awkward, muted conversation. Yeah. I didn't hear it, and you came back, and you're like, yeah. And I was like, that doesn't seem like. Yeah. But that was when I was it was signed to Curtis Brown. Yeah. And I got that off the back of I didn't have a show reel. I still don't have a show reel. That's pretty crazy.
Nah, anyone. That's the show reel.
That's the show reel.
And I'd never sent an email to them, but I did a film where everyone in the film basically was with Curtis Brown.
Yes.
And by the end of the 7 weeks of filming, they'd asked so many times, they're like, fine, I'll have a meeting with the guy.
Yeah, at last.
And then they signed me. Yeah. Then after a year and a half, they called me in. Yeah. They were like, we misrepresented you. You can stay if you want to, but we kind of just thought you would go and do it. That's an exact quote. We thought you'd just go and do it. Yeah. And that was the... Well, no, I mean, it's a compliment for one.
It is, but it's also...
And then decisions throughout that year. Like, one, I arrived there with my hair down to here.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been boozing. Then I got that one job with them, which got me a lot of money. Yeah. Then I started partying. Yeah. Shaved my head because the party made me depressed and anxious. Yeah. But then I shaved my head. Yeah. And then the shaved head made me look ill. And then the puffy, all of it just was a downward trajectory.
Came very close to shaving my head this week.
I know. You need to, but it's because you can I be honest with you, Harvey? No. It's because you never actually walked the walk, boy. I've shaved my head 3 times, and I mean, macked it off, right? You have had a very, very short haircut,
a crew cut, yeah.
But it's not, unless you walk the walk, baby. Yeah. You can't talk the talk. But so that temptation is still there for you. I know how bad I look.
I know
3 times.
No, but I know it would look worse than on you. Because I can't grow a beard.
I can't grow a beard?
You can. You got stubble and shit.
Nah, it's not stubble.
I've got very much...
so polite to call it stubble, though.
Effeminate Asian man face.
That's an alarm that we should technically take a break. I don't want to.
I don't really fancy it.
Cool.
I don't fancy it.
We'll do whatever we want. Are you going to shave your head?
Am I going to shave my head? I might. I'm going back to my parents this Christmas. And they're both hairdressers. So I might just be like, can you sort this out?
Mate, here's the thing.
I just have had new headshots though, and the hair is quite foppish.
anyone would say it's incredibly long hair.
Yeah. So it would be a mistake, probably. And the agent would be very upset.
Well, she's always upset.
Yeah.
At least she was when I was with her. But that's because I'm an infuriating client.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything right then.
Yeah. No.
Apart from book constant jobs.
I know, Jesus. I'm seeing her on Monday.
That'd be fun.
For a cat. No, it'd be nice.
Does she watch this?
Oh, I can't imagine she does.
She should.
She should though.
Should be keeping up to date with stuff.
There's
actually no hard feelings. I just thought it'd be funnier.
Finger on the pulse.
I knew the joke there would be funnier to say that she was a bitch and we don't get
explain
on.
the joke because they get it.
I'm caveating in case she does watch it.
Oh right, yeah. No, explain it. Love you, Jen. Merry Christmas.
Don't name her.
Well, no, I'm not saying her full name. It's not like I'm saying her name is. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that was clever.
That's good.
What has happened in your 2023? Anything of note? Not yours, but the world's that you want to take a sideways sort of funny look at. I've got here Prince Harry's book.
Didn't read it.
Shocker. Austin Butler's voice.
Oh,
he
do you know
putting
what?
It on.
He's putting it on. I loved
putting it on.
I liked Elvis 1, but he's doing 2, isn't he? Elvis 2 with the Masters of the Air.
What the hell are you? He's
doing Elvis 3 with Tom Hardy on a bike. So Elvis on a plane, Elvis on a bike. I can't wait to see both of those.
Elvis at War.
Elvis at War.
Except Elvis at War is going to have Rafferty Law in it, which is going to bring the quality way up.
Yeah. My friend George is in it.
I'm actually slagging off Rafferty Law. He's doing exactly what I would do, and I'm not that good an actor either, so it's fine.
My friend George is in Master of the Air, and he's done it for a small little role, I think. But he was saying about, because we were talking about Barry Keoghan.
Yeah.
And I was like, what was he like? And she was like, yeah, he's lovely, but what he's doing is not really acting. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, he's just like this manic ADHD, just constantly like, and he just says the words. And I was like, I can kind of believe that.
Yeah.
Even watching Saltburn last night, I was he's doing, what he's doing is similar to Banshees. It's like, it's similar.
I think it's fucking hard to.
I think he's brilliant. Don't get me wrong.
Watching films is the equivalency of watching footballers or athletes. It looks so easy.
Yeah.
And it is so fucking goddamn hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it is so fucking incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Which is why morons. Actually, they're not morons. They just don't. It's like, I don't understand accountancy. Idiots who don't. Like,
they've never stepped on a set. Yeah.
They've never got anywhere near it, and they never will, and nor should they. It's not everyone's dream to do it, but it's so fucking goddamn hard. Yeah. Stage is way easier than acting on stage. You get to do the whole thing at once.
I've done 2 plays.
Yeah.
And they were both really quite bad. One of them was The Crocodile by Tom Bazin. I played Ivan, which was really fun, and we put it on at a small little theatre. And the other one was a play written by one of my friends.
Oh,
yeah, and I'm not friends with them anymore.
Well,
so I can say this. It was really, really bad. But you're right. I found it easier in that you just have more time, and it's just
isn't it? And you get a little clap at the end. Everyone goes brilliant.
Yeah. Whereas when you got
scene on a set, when it just goes right, moving on,
and it's like, well, hey, none of that felt organic to me. Well, we've got it.
Yeah,
so we're moving on. It's like, whoa. Particularly TV, you get 2 takes.
Also, if you're a little shit muncher on the sets, then if you're bottom of the barrel stuff, then you are. It is. Did they look where they're supposed to look? Yeah, we're moving on.
Yeah,
we are now moving on.
You sure? Because
whereas when I did this recent film, when I was the lead of it,
yeah, you can kind of get.
I was like, I'm gonna do that 7 or 8 more times, and they go, we're gonna lose light. I'm like, fabricate light. Get fake.
Do you know what's
light.
funny? My mate Luke, who is the director, who I did a student film with him, and he won't mind me saying this. I remember we did you might have seen it. You know, it's a short that's set. It's a short, and it's all from the viewpoint of a vending machine. Yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah, we did that. There's a scene where me and my friend Anna, basically I've been headbutted, and it's just one take, and she's stitching up my nose, and we're talking, and it's really supernatural, and not supernatural, it's natural as fuck as performance, and we're just talking. Then at the end, he was like, all right, cut, and he came out, and he looked really confused and nervous. I was like, oh, we fucked this up somehow, and he went, we're gonna go again. Come, and we did that take 15 times, and at the end, the next day, I was like, "How come you want to do that so many times?" And he went, "To be honest, we had it in the first take, but I was so nervous." He was like, He was starting out as a director at the time. He was like, "I felt as a director I should come out and say something to you guys and give you direction, but you'd nailed it the first time, so I didn't know what to do."
Sounds terrible.
Well, yeah, but like. but like we did that take so many times. It was great. It felt like doing theatre. It felt like doing theatre, but and because it's one angle, it's one setup, so it wasn't like they had to like fuck around. It was just go again, go again, go again. But that is such a like that would never happen on a TV set.
On a film set.
Yeah, we're
working. With,
if you're working with like Scorsese or something.
No. Fucking what's his name? Matey boy.
With the guy that did Napoleon.
David Fincher.
Oh, David Fincher. He does like multiple takes.
He does like 45 takes.
Fucking
on
hell.
every, and so Andrew got it's the idea. It's the same thing as your Meisner technique, which is, by the way,
repetition.
Total bollocks, total bollocks. Just repeating the same line over and over and over again until you lose its meaning. Like saying the word fridge 1,000 times, so it doesn't mean anything. Then you're not even aware of what you're saying. It's bollocks. David Fincher pulls it off though.
He does. Sam Rockwell also pulls off Meisner.
Sam Rock. See, this is why I can't stand American actors. Everyone just like. When you tell people like, oh, I use this technique, I use that technique,
they run with it. Yeah,
it's just like showing everyone how you do the magic trick.
Well, no. So Sam Rockwell,
just shut up.
Sam Rockwell and Jeff Goldblum famously are big Meisner proponents. But the whole thing with Meisner for me is it's not Meisner's technique. You just make it your own. You make it your own. Everyone's technique is their own. It doesn't. Yeah.
Hate it.
What are we talking about?
Got more stuff. Butler. So we got next thing. In March, Gwyneth Paltrow had a ski trial. Honestly, Gwyneth, just pay the man. How was it? How much was it? $1 million? Give him.
It couldn't have been that.
Just give him $1 million. Listen. He's ploughed into the back of you, not for the first time, and
filthy.
Just pay the man. In July, we had Barbie Oppenheimer, which proved my point again, which is that basically the press before the movie is more important than the movie itself.
I saw Oppenheimer, didn't see Barbie.
I saw Barbie, didn't see Oppenheimer.
So we're at
I thought Barbie would have been better if you'd used more Gosling, because he's the funniest actor who's allowed to be doing hot roles in the world at the moment, and less of crazy Barbie.
I didn't see Barbie.
Oh, okay. So there's Barbie, who's like not played with anymore, who lives up on the hill, sort of like the Grinch, but the girl equivalent of it. And she's great. Cool. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Margot, yeah.
And they kept the whole fucking thing's just about her, like Butters Barbie. You go to Fit Barbie. You've got Margot.
You've got Margot sitting there.
Margot, brilliant, and
she's good at acting.
It's funny, and
she's world class.
They kept going back to Mad Barbie, and it's like, I get it. She's mad. Move on.
Do you know what? I don't want to see it now.
Nothing happened in August and September, but in October. By the way, globally, nothing happened.
Yeah.
The Beckham documentary came out.
I haven't watched any of it apart from that one bit.
I'm so glad you're here, mate. This is really good.
Good to catch.
Yeah.
I look. Do you know
you
what?
nailed the Christmas episode. You're nailing today.
I don't like
reality
TV.
Oh, for fuck's sake, then.
So
you are. You are literally. Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. And then I've just got written here November and December. What did you bring to the table?
Oh,
mate?
I've got a few. So I put out on Instagram.
By the way, no need to say this. No war.
No war, yeah,
cool.
Of course, no war.
That's good stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Go on.
Look, keeping this light. Someone says, Miranda sings terrible ukulele apology. Do you know what that's about?
Absolutely not.
Well, moving on. Ham or turkey?
What the fuck are you talking about, bruv?
Do you know what I mean? My friend Alex...
No. It has to be global news. It is your friend Alex.
No, but it's sort of global. He suggested, he's like, talk topics. He was like, life. Just how shit it is, and I want to take a set. No, I want to.
Alex.
No, I want to say this. I want to say this. Life has been shit for a lot of people, but trust me, it's better than death. It's way better than death.
How would you know?
Because I know. Because death is awful.
The anticipation of death is far worse than death itself.
I think death is pretty fucking rubbish.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Best play of 2023.
The best play.
Yeah, did you see a play?
The best NFL play. God, we could be going down. This is tricky stuff. Well, I thought the Giants did something.
They did, the Eagles.
NFL. And that's why I'm not slamming NFL. I simply just don't watch enough of it. I actually, when I do watch it,
quite good,
really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like the NFL. I like
the tactics of the game.
I like all of it, to be honest with you. I just don't watch it.
Yeah.
I think it's a fucking hard game to play. Anyway, I don't know what play. I don't care.
Fair.
The one on in town at the moment in down on Old Compton Street. The football one of when they do the penalty shootout, England.
Oh, okay.
Apparently that's very good. Yeah, apparently it's very, very good.
I'm seeing Cold War before the end of this year in the Almeida.
Okay.
You know what that is?
No.
So my friend,
I know what the Almeida is.
My friend Anya's in it. but it's Elvis Costello has scored it. So
Okay.
I'm very, very up for that.
And it's about the Cold War.
Yeah, it's based on a book called Cold War, and it it's
War.
a play.
J. Cole,
It's,
Cold War.
sorry, a movie that's been adapted for stage, but it's meant to be very, very good. I'm going in blind though.
Sweet. Oh, I like going blind things.
Yeah. Best films to come out.
Best films to come out.
year.
The one. I know it's not called Kicking and Screaming, but it's Michael Fassbender when he goes out to that Hawaii island and makes them into football team.
What is
That's coming out on Boxing Day. That's going to be fucking hilarious
okay.
and like a feel good. Like that's going to be a good movie.
I watched
For two reasons: Fassbender doesn't do bad movies.
He doesn't.
And he's done his big Netflix thing with the Assassin. So this is his sort of like fuck about one that he really wanted to do.
Did you watched Air this year? Didn't you?
Thought Air was really good.
Brilliant.
Man. Air,
Brilliant.
Air's the kind of movie that is just like, hey man, we're making a movie.
100%.
Not making a comment or anything.
Yeah.
Doing anything. Here's just
Yeah.
what happened. And by the way, we're being a bit fast and loose with the truth. Love it.
Cool. Yeah, I really like
Print the myth, baby.
I also liked I like John Wick 4 came out this year, a bit of a different one, but I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I saw a trailer for a movie before Saltburn last night, The Holdovers.
Tell me it.
It's the one with it's about students that stay in school in between summer break because they haven't got parents to go back to, and it's by the director of Sideways, and it's got Paul Giamatti as the lead as the teacher,
Love him.
and it looks incredible, and I can't wait to see it. That's out this year as well.
If you don't know who Paul Giamatti is the big fat liar in Big Fat Liar.
Brilliant. What else are the topics?
He's done other projects as well.
Who was the best guest on your show? We've got three. Well, there would have been. Well, I'll tell you what. There were three it was going to be Millie Bobby Brown, but she didn't turn up. Chris Packham, he didn't turn up as well, but he was on. I saw he was on James O'Brien's podcast.
You got time to do O'Brien.
Yeah, fuck off. And the abstract concept of history.
Yeah, that was a brilliant guest.
Yeah, really good.
And I think the viewers and the listeners would agree that was the. Do you know who my best guest was, Harvey?
Go on.
You. Because as you know,
Yeah.
it's with me today.
Yeah.
Is Harvey Quinn.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you know, listen. Do you always bring your A game? Do you fuck? You know, you don't have time to bring your A game to this every single week. Sometimes
come
you
on.
bring your C or D.
Exactly.
And even your C, it's like what I say about Messi.
He shows up.
Even when he's being shit with even when he's crawling around on his hands and feet in the muck, blah blah blah, like, you're still all right. You're still
Does
good.
Messi do that? Are you saying I do that? Which one? Who's doing
I
that?
didn't know where I was going with it.
I know.
I was trying to insult you and also call you one of the greatest at the same time.
Look, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We got there in the
Have to take it. Right. Okay. Look. Do you know at the end of 2023, it's been a bit of a kooky year. It's been
By the way,
fine.
we've still got like half an hour to go, so
we got
wrapping up.
Yeah, no, I'm not wrapping up. I'm just saying. I thought that we got 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But we haven't got to fan mail. We will get to fan mail. Do you know what? We've actually had 4 fan mails this year.
Okay.
This week.
Yeah.
And they are good ones. But we'll get to that. Anything else about 2023 that you wanted to discuss? Because
Not really. I mean, look. 20. It's not been a hunky dory sort of year. I don't think for anybody.
No, it's been rough. But it's also been better than being dead, mate.
Sure.
And I want to reiterate that. If anyone is confused by that statement, and if you think, actually, no, life isn't better than death, just email me. I'll call you and convince you. And I will. I will convince you that life is way better than death.
Yeah.
And I'll be very convincing.
Yeah.
I'll be very convincing.
This is good stuff.
It's good stuff.
This is what is your plans for the next year?
For the next year.
What do you want to achieve, man?
Global domination.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if you were to sort
take it down a bit? Sort of domination of the island.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll probably
After
I've taken over the island, I'll make a push for Poland.
Why Poland?
Just because
good infrastructure.
Yeah. And I like it. You know what I mean? I think people are fans of me in Poland.
Yeah.
I think people are fans of me in Poland.
I'm going to try. It's just good points. I'm going to try and be a little bit more organic to myself. I'm going to give myself less of a hard time, I think. I think I beat myself up a lot.
Do you?
So I'm going to try and get rid of some self-loathing.
Good. It's important.
I'm going to try and be a bit more organic on this podcast, as in a bit more like myself.
And not what? Not that you... Well,
not just like a complete, just like I think, look,
you want to...
The beauty about the show, and it is a show, is that you're learning with us. The listener, not you, the learner, the listener is learning as we go on this, right?
Sure.
And so you might, if you're a long-term listener, you might have realised that we're finding our stride a little bit. We're working out the kinks a little bit.
A little bit.
So that's kind of, I guess what I want to say. That's kind of it.
You want to be more organic to yourself in 2024. 2024 sounds mental,
bro. Honestly, so 2004 was huge, right? You got Jaquan's Tipsies come out.
Yeah.
FIFA games had just brought out FIFA 2004. You got Thierry Henry with that new free kick style. I mean, honestly, the world is a crazy place in 2004.
20 years ago.
You're loving it. You're fucking loving it.
20.
2014 comes around. My best friend dies in a car crash. Selfish. Yeah. So that's a real, I'm not going 10 years ago. And now it's another 10 years.
Another 10 years on top of that.
What the fuck?
I know, 10 years have gone like that.
What the fuck?
Well, do you know what? Just embrace it. Do you know what I mean? You have to embrace it, because if you fight against it...
Yeah. I'm not afraid of looking older this year either.
Oh, me either.
I've been desperate.
Finally, can we please look a bit older?
I've been desperate to stay looking younger, and actually, I think I'm just starting to look a bit like. I'm not ready to look like old though.
Not old, but I mean, Fassbender's got a good face, hasn't he?
Yeah, but the trick is with him, he's looked old forever.
He has looked old forever. He's got bad skin. That's why. Not bad skin, just weathered skin.
Just aged.
Yeah. He's what, 40 something?
Is he really?
I think he's like 45.
Oh, God. This year.
Which rules him out for
Bond. There's going to be a lot of... No, it doesn't rule him out for Bond.
It does. They've said they want 30.
A 30-year-old Bond?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. Why
It'll
fuck
be
off?
shit.
Why would it be?
Why the fuck am I getting... Listen, I wouldn't trust a 30-year-old to back my fucking car into a parking space.
I'd play Bond.
You'd be terrible at Bond.
But I'd do it differently.
You're Q.
I'd do it
Unfortunately, mate, you're Q.
No. I'd do Bond, but I'd do it very differently.
No, you keep saying you do things differently.
I'd do it completely differently.
Yeah, okay.
It'd be a weird... It wouldn't quite be Bond. It would be almost like a weird piece of art.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would lean into that. And then people on set would be like, he's ruining Bond.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, look, trust me. And they'd say he's ruining Bond right up until the point that we'd wrap filming.
Yeah.
And then they'd be in the edit suite and they'd be like, he's ruined this movie. He's really ruined this movie. Honestly, I don't know how we can adjust this. And they'd get the soundtrack guy in and he'd look at it in Video Village and he'd be like, we'll put some like maybe moody like soundtrack over this movie to try and save it, because he's once again he's ruined it.
Ruining the movie.
And they've different, and none of that would work. And they'd be like, he's completely ruined this movie. Barbara Broccoli would come in and she'd be like, why did I even think about casting him in the first place?
How did you get through the casting
How do you get through the casting process? I don't know. And then what would happen?
Who's this man's agent? Get rid of him.
Exactly. And then what would happen is the movie would release and I'd do a bit of promo around it and they'd be like, there'd be massive fan backlash as well. They'd be like, well, he's got dark hair and that's about all that fits into the role of Bond.
Like when Daniel Craig came down the Thames on the boat and they made him wear a life vest.
Yeah.
And then the press were
That's
like,
not cool.
you fucking pussy. And it's it's the fucking Thames.
He's Bond.
A whale died in the Thames.
Do you know what I mean?
Let's
Safety first. Safety first.
So you ruin the movie. Press isn't going well.
Press is a nightmare. I'm getting death threats, I imagine.
Oh, yeah,
and then the movie would come out.
And
it would just be awful. People would be like, he has ruined Bond. He's ruined Bond. But you know what? It would be completely intentional, and I'd do it on purpose. I'd do it differently. I said I'd do it differently. I would ruin Bond, yeah. But I think I could do it. Now, anyway, let's move on to fan mail, because I think it's going to take a bit of time to get through fan mail this week. The first question is from Zach. Hey, Harvey and Matt. Really enjoying the podcast.
Why would you? Of course.
You're both very funny.
Yeah.
And clearly have this great rapport with each other, which is always good.
Yeah, we know.
As a history student, your history episode was great.
First sensible thing you said all day, Jack.
As a restless politics listener as well, maybe you should talk about politics in one of your episodes, ? Probably not going to do that.
Zach.
Here's the question.
Do I need to be cancelled?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Don't really fancy
No, thanks.
hashing out domestic foreign policy
Not for me.
on here.
Seriously, is Cameron going to make a big splash? Is that?
Don't know. Not going to do it. Here's the question. What's a place you've never been to before that you would love to go to? And that is from Zach.
Thank you for your question, Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
You know what? I'm very drawn to going to like New Zealand. That is kind of
That's the answer.
Yeah,
Fine.
that's that. Or I've never been east.
Yeah.
So I would like to do
Fine.
Sri Lanka,
Nice.
Bangladesh.
Yeah.
You know what? Top all these answers. Fucking India. I want to go to fucking New Delhi.
I lived in India
Really?
for a good while. The thing is, I lived in Bangalore, and it was
Sweet.
with
I'll
my
just
old
go
job.
fuck myself then.
No, just go fuck yourself. It was it was shit.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
So your answer is.
Oh, my answer is Japan.
Yeah.
Japan, Tokyo, but I would want to do, because it's so far across the other side.
You
of
know,
the
I
earth,
just got back from Japan.
I'd do. I know. We'll talk about that offline.
Sure.
I wanted to do Japan, and then I'd do Bali, and then Australia.
Yeah,
do it all at
the
once.
thing is, yeah, that sort of neck of the woods, basically.
Yeah. So cheers, Zach.
Zach.
Second question is from George. Dear Harvey, Quinn, and Matt Bentley. Weird one.
Thanks for the 2 names.
Yeah, and that is important. Weird one. But with sex scenes becoming more common in films and gradually losing the shock factor, what do you think will come next? Cheers from George. Do you want to go first?
To shock an audience.
Well, yeah.
Really don't know. It's a good question. I think sex scenes are going to be a thing of the absolute past. They are not going to be around in the way that we saw them, unless you have an intimacy coach. And even with that, I don't know how relevant a sex scene is.
Agree.
I don't know. I don't know the answer. If I don't know the answer to something, I'll just tell you I don't know the answer.
Fine.
Don't know the answer, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my answer's sort of similar to that, but there is an observation I made. Sex scenes are. It's funny that you say they're becoming more common. I think they're becoming less common. I think they were really popular during 2016, Game of Thrones and all that, and then recently they're just. I don't think it's acceptable anymore to just have a gratuitous sex scene in a movie. Even in Saltburn, there was a few bits and pieces, and obviously the famous scene with the grave, but it wasn't gratuitous. It was just. It was disturbing.
But I allow it because in context of what it's when they're shoehorned in, and something being shoehorned in is all down to your preference. I think if I was going to make a real big prediction, which is a bit weird, I would say that people being like abusively drunk will be seen less and less in cinema, because these old style like stoic men drinking at the bar by themselves, that being really romanticized, I think will be just taken slowly out of cinema. People, and the image of it will be seen less as like a stoic, cool, hard man.
We still have that. We still have that image from like the 40s. That's where we get that like sort of drinking whiskey at the bar. Like,
dude, if I go down to a bar in a hotel, I'll order a whiskey and I'll sit there like I'm fucking James Dean.
100%. And on that as well, one of my mates said to me, he said, "Eyes are the new tits." And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, you can't show tits anymore. But the tits are becoming less common on screen. But now there's a big obsession with like big, intense close-ups on the eyes.
Your friend sounds like an idiot.
And I was like, no, that's true. Because if you watch any Netflix particularly, it might be something to do with the fact that it's filmed for TV and not for film, for cinema. They love those big like eye shots in everything. And I've noticed it since
I'll keep an eye on it.
It's but you can't do tits anymore.
He didn't even get it.
I got it.
But I will keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Last, well, actually not. Second to last question is from Matthew. Question for both of you: what does acting preparation mean to you? I think we're probably gonna have the same answer here.
Being on time.
Yep.
Being healthy.
Yep.
Knowing your lines as if you could do them whilst skateboarding, and I'm not a good skateboarder. Know your lines so fucking goddamn well.
Yeah.
Don't be too addicted to the script. If it feels like you want to do your own sort of thing, get no start point, end point of each scene. You don't need to know the end of your character, by the way.
No.
If it's a self-tape, you don't need to know what happens to your character because they don't fucking know what happens to their character. Sure. Just fucking...
I think...
Health, a big gap, knowing all of the lines really, really, really well, and knowing what other characters say about your character before you arrive.
100%. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would say line learning is imperative, and I mean, as Matt said, know it so well that you could get someone quiz you about it and give you any line, and you know exactly where it is in the script, what part that is, all that stuff. Just because when you know your lines that well, that's when you can be creative and play around when you're performing them. In terms of research, I'm of the opinion, if I'm doing a movie, I'm the lead, I'm reading the whole movie, and I'm like, I'm reading the whole movie, I'm reading my lines and all that stuff. When it's like, you've got 2 days to do a self-tape, I'm not reading the whole movie.
No.
I'm not reading the whole episode. I'm reading my scene, and I'm figuring out the objective in that scene particularly, and then I'm playing it.
Also, if you're ever like a nervous person, and like, I don't like going to the bar by myself to order a drink or being somewhere by myself, so I sort of channel other people, and I'd be like, I'll pretend to be Harvey here. Just in my normal life, I pretend to be. So whenever I get a character, in broad strokes, like if it's just for the audition, broad strokes, not much time to think about it, I'll be like, what category of person does this fit into here? Yeah. This person is this person, so how would they do this? Yeah. And then I'd go from there. That's
cool.
I'd put them into like category A, category B, category C.
That's a really good way to come up with a choice.
Yeah.
How to play the character.
And then because I'm super, super arrogant in my ability, I very rarely change my mind once I've made up my mind on the character.
You make a choice. But this is the thing. I think you wouldn't make the change unless you're working with a director who's like, great, I'm gonna want something different, and this is and a solid change of tone or a solid change of perspective. But if it's just, can you do it sexier? You can go away.
Yeah, you can
go away. But I think I guess research comes into it when you're playing a person that was real. Like I guess like if you're playing Robert Oppenheimer, then I presume Killian had to do a bit of research. But
even then, I like the idea of just being like, print the myth, play the legend, don't get too bogged down in details. Do you know why? Because no one gives a fuck about details. Yeah, really. I mean, you can do everything in terms of research, and someone will be like, do you know, actually, he didn't do that. All right, mate, true. But he was Billy the Kid, then he shot people. He's left-handed, he's right-handed. Well, listen. Yeah. He popped people off, didn't he? And
did you want to? Speaking of playing real character, are you looking forward to seeing Maestro?
Yeah, just because I really like Bradley Cooper.
Me too. It was between that and Saltburn last night. I was like, which one do I watch?
Oh, Saltburn.
And I thought Saltburn just because, as funny enough, I was like, I don't want to watch another black and white biopic. Yeah. As much as I am really looking forward to watching that movie.
I want to be entertained at the cinema now more than I want to be like moved to something. I know what you mean. And Saltburn's just fucking entertainment, mate.
Last question. It's quite a big one.
Christ.
Okay. Right. This is for both Quinn and Bentley. All right. Because I don't want to exclude one of the lads. Correct. Long-time fan of the show from over in the States.
You can exclude Harvey whenever you like.
If you like.
I don't. That's very much the main one. If you watch the show, did you know why I sit here? This is a bad side of my face. This is my better angle, but I sit here because when you see it on the screen, you look from me to him.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's why I do this.
Is that why you do it?
Yeah.
It's important to know. He's put in brackets, viewer, not listener, obviously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you'll get it.
He gets it.
Much better angle for me.
I've had the fortune to be able to follow your podcast meteoric rise to success, and thought I'd write in with some sage wisdom. Don't need advice. Can we...
He is right, though, about the meteoric stuff.
Yeah, bang on. And then he goes on. I went to art school and had the privilege to study some of the finer artistic pursuits, and found myself around aspiring actors quite often.
That's a nightmare. That's bad. The worst place to be.
It's bad. And I have to say that they were some of the most obsessed and emotionally illiterate bastards I've ever encountered.
Oh, I can tell you. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that blind going in. They're the worst. Actors are the worst people in the world, including us.
Including us. He goes on. How do you both, being so self-aware, manage not to go berserk in a profession that's so ripe with these insufferable characters?
Okay. So
we don't really hang out with a lot of them.
I don't have any friends. All of my friends have quote unquote normal jobs.
Sure.
And my only actor friends that are actors are famous people.
Yeah, same.
That's it.
Well, not famous people.
Who aren't more famous actors who are just
more successful than I am.
Who don't moan about the lack of work and acting. Can't stand that.
Yeah. And I look up to those people. If anyone's doing well, and I've worked with them, and like I've seen a few of my friends recently that I've seen in plays, and I've been blown away by how good they are. And I'm like, in all of them, and that's why. But again, they're successful working actors, and they're not moaning about being self-obsessed all the time.
It's too much. Honestly,
too much.
I just feel like I always slam drama school about how much I disliked it, right? But actually, what it did for me was, you got to taste something to realize you hate it.
Sure.
You need to go and like drink yourself to oblivion to realize, well, fucking vodka's not for me.
Yeah.
I sat in a studio for 4 years and I realized that actually, and it's not their fault. I'm not saying all actors are cunts, right?
Of course not.
Just by the very definition of them. Like you said, they just sit around just fucking wanking each other off.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like. I mean, just a shocker. I don't ordinarily like talking about acting. I mean, we talked about it on this show today, but because it's Matt, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, and I feel that you're one of the only few people I can talk to without getting wound up about it, because I think you're brilliant, and I think we share similar sort of attitude towards it. I think one thing I've learned is I have other interests. Like, have other interests. If like all you're interested in is acting, you're gonna be a nightmare.
What's his
person.
question again? Actually,
his question was, how do you manage to not go berserk in a profession that's so right with these insufferable characters? I just don't pay attention to that aspect of it. Yeah. If someone's talking about if someone's talking about it because they want attention, I'm zoning out.
Swear to God, this is the thing. Most actors, when they are amongst other creatives, are, in my opinion, thinking of the right thing to say. And that's not having a conversation with someone. If you are genuine, like I've always said, the most interesting answer to give is the honest answer, even if it makes you look a little bit silly. I always look a little bit silly in rooms. I don't really care.
The answer, I don't know, like you said earlier.
Don't know the answer to that question, or whatever. And in terms of acting, people will say something like, "Oh, isn't it just brilliant?" You go, "No, is it? I don't really. I don't think it's that great."
Yeah,
like. When someone goes, "Oh, did you see this movie?" Like you said to me, "Have you seen Saltburn?" I put it up on Instagram, said 5 stars, banging.
Yeah.
And if someone else goes, "Oh, I thought it was shit," I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, fine.
But I fucking loved it, and I'm okay with saying it first.
Sure. Good.
Bit of a rambling answer.
I like that answer.
Basically, actors are very annoying, yeah.
Yeah. Second part of his question is, secondly, what's your advice to an aspiring artist who doesn't want to join the corporate industrial art world and would rather do something cool and sleek like you two with your educational history podcast? Obviously,
thank you so much for calling an educational history podcast, because that's exactly what it is.
It is, and we will go back to it.
Is this George?
No.
Who's this guy's name?
His name is Christopher, but he signed off Jay Cena.
Love that.
Yeah.
As an artist, now I
don't know.
I struggle with calling myself an artist.
Yeah, because I don't think I am.
I think I'm an actor.
I think I have been at times, but on the whole, I'm not. I'm a silly Billy. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's some points where I've been like,
Can I be honest with you, mate?
You go on.
I really struggle with all that kind of stuff. People calling themselves goofy and silly. Oh, I'm so silly. I'm such a Billy.
I know what you mean.
I hate it, mate. Yeah. I've always hated it.
What I mean is, I'm a silly goose, and I
just hate that as well. It's Americans have it. He's such a goofball. Oh, shut up! You make me cringe, bruv.
But would you? So would you say?
Much. No, I'm a serious. I'm not silly. I'm quite serious.
Would you say I'm a serious person?
You are quite a measured person, and even when you let yourself cut loose, you're still fairly measured. You're aware of your actions. It's not a bad thing. You're self-aware.
Yeah,
I am not a silly guy. I'm not a plonker.
I'm not. You're not a plonker.
No, I just don't like the idea of. Maybe I am silly, but I don't like people. I don't like being.
You don't like the word.
It's so gross. For advice to the actor, I don't know. To the artist. This took us so long to figure out. Doing this. So long, right? And we would sit. How it came about? We would sit in my old apartment in Portobello, in this tiny room in my kitchen, and we put up a backdrop that hadn't been ironed. That looked awful.
Yeah, looked bad.
And we would be in character as of the TV show we've written. I'm Johnny and he's Zach. It's called Zach and Joe. The Truth Doesn't Rhyme. And we'd film ourselves improvising in character to try and come up with scenes and stuff, right?
We did come up with scenes.
I mean, that's how we wrote. That's how we wrote the show. Producers came on board about 4 years later after that point, and they saw us doing, and we sent some more tapes over to them, whatever, and they were like, "This is so funny, you should do." And I was like,
"Let's just do it."
And then they didn't realize we were in character. They're like, it's kind of like a podcast. And I was like, yeah, but we're being complete cunts. The characters are such arseholes.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we just thought you were being yourselves. So I was like, well, that's very insulting.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
But, I mean, also, there's an idea there. So I guess and then when we started doing this, you're seeing the original podcasts or the show's episodes, and they are episodes, we call it, we don't know what to call this.
Yeah.
The only advice I ever got at drama school, which is actually any good, was let's start, we'll know more at the end. And that is the only thing that from drama school that actually helped me. Just fucking go. Start doing it and just like keep fucking up. Yep. Because guess what? No one gives a shit. We could stop doing this, and this could be the last episode of this ever, and no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Who was the guy that was talking about that he was being interviewed recently? Was it Rick Rubin? And he was saying, do it for you. Always do it for you. Don't do it for the
audience. Comes last.
Yeah,
it's not about the audience. It's about you.
And everything you do should be treated as sort of a diary entry.
What do you like doing?
Like that.
What do you like doing? Everyone goes, oh, try and make it broad. Try and make it broad. If you make it broad, it just goes over people's heads. Make it crazy niche, and then you'll find other freaks that like the freaky shit that you like.
Yeah.
That is how it works. That's how sex communities are formed. And they're massive. They're taking over the fucking world. Do you think the guy who figured out dogging for the first time?
He must have been loving it.
Honestly, dogging's such a big thing now that I can say the word dogging and you know what I'm fucking talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
And you probably never even done it or know anyone that does it. Anyone that does it.
Yeah. Don't know
anyone that does
dogging.
Someone had to go first to be like, do you know what I fucking love? I just car parks and just like watch people go at it.
I love
and they're going,
sucking people off out of a car window.
You're kidding me, because I've been well into that for years. Do you know what I say it?
Yeah.
Just start doing whatever art you want to do.
Don't suck off anyone out of a car window, though.
Or do. I don't give a shit. It's not for you to say that.
Well, I mean, he's talking about being an artist. I don't imagine he wants to suck off anyone out of a car window.
I thought we were fielding the question so well.
Oh, yeah, we did, yeah.
I did bring up dogging.
You did bring it up, yeah.
But I meant it in terms of like, look how popular it is.
Yeah, you using it as a metaphor, I just went in.
You just said sucking cock out of a window.
Yeah. I think that's a good end of the show.
And with that, I would like to sincerely thank every single person that watches, listens, shares, whatever you do. And I will reiterate what I said last week, because I think it's important. Give yourself a fucking break.
Yeah.
It's not a self-motivation podcast. Not what this is, right?
No, but it's just nice.
When I listen to things because I feel anxious and I like to have background noise and give yourself a fucking break.
Yeah.
Regroup in the new year, and if you need to regroup in February, then regroup in February.
Yeah,
we will be here and we'll be doing this.
We'll see you next year.